Congratulations, legends. You have made it. And now the real work begins. Terra Luna Classic has the proposal up right now, which could end up being a paradigm shift in everything that we know about the Terra Luna Classic universe. By the way, there are a lot of people who are out on the project right now. There are a lot of people who have faded, and they've done so because they're weak hands. They're babies. They're not going in your brain. They're not smart. And the reason for that, very, very simple. They look around, they see other things pumping, and they think, hey, I should get wrecked by going into something, and I should buy the top of this next project. Because those dum-dums never get paid. You leave your money, you let it work for you, you don't invest more than you can afford to lose, and then you just let it ride until the actual top of the market. Now, if they're pricing in the top of their market, then they're extra stupid because they're not paying attention to any of the signs. I'm going to show you why you are not at the top of the market, why you're not even close to the top of the market. So make sure you stick around, make sure you hit the like button on your way in. First of all, sign up here. Subscribers, it's free to subscribe. It's $4.99 a month to become a member. TerraCasino.io for all your risk-based gaming needs. College football tonight, college football tomorrow, NFL tomorrow. Guys, it's right there. All you need to do is take your shot. Also, if you put your username into my live streams, then you can win $50. Makes it free of charge. If you want to trade meme coins or utility coins, Terraport.finance is the place to go. A lot going on over here. Matter of fact, you can still buy the Believe meme coin if you want it. Do you want it? Now, some of you don't like when I don't like this because I don't like this, because you're one of those people, right? And you're just looking for a reason to be mad at the project because you buy tops and you get wrecked all the time and you lose them. Instead of DCAing, being responsible with your investment, doing it the right way. You do it the wrong way, then you don't get a reward, then you wonder why it didn't work when you did it the wrong way. Duh. All right, so I'm done dunking on you. Let's get into what's going on. This is the bull market indicator, okay? These are the peak indicators right now. There's one that's been triggered. The only one that's been triggered right now is Altcoin Season Index, which has us right around 80 right now, signaling that an altcoin season has started. Now, this is not, in my opinion, the massive move that we're looking for. As a matter of fact, give me 1 second here. We're going to move to the side just a little bit so you can see that a little better. None of the indicators have been hit. You know, if we're going to start selling at any point, we're going to wait for at least, 10 of them to hit? Because if we wait longer than that, we're probably on the downside, right? Altcoin season, by the way, I think this is a fake out into altcoin season. I'm going to give you my reasoning. It's very, very simple. Bitcoin is not high enough yet. Bitcoin has to explode to another big rip to give us that altcoin season. And by the way, if you're out on that and you're not paying attention to why that happened, then just do nothing more than come over here and look at this chart. Look at the Bitcoin chart. Look at when Bitcoin started to really, really, really send. When did it really, really, really start to explode? You can see it right there. We were starting, wrong spot right here. September over here, we had the dip. Then all of a sudden, we started to just absolutely rip. And what happened? We went from a low of 50-something thousand all the way up to 108,000. That's the explosive move. Now, what did that end up doing for altcoins? It caused an explosive move. It caused a bunch of money to come in. What happened to total DeFi? Same thing happened. Now, let's take that again on our thesis and say, is that what's happening with Bitcoin right now? No, it's not. This is what we need to kick off the altcoin season. Now, you might say that, well, this move right here from April all the way up into this range to 124,000, that was what kicked off the altcoin season. And to that, I would say, yes, but that's not aggressive. When you break it down, it's 13% over the previous top, maybe 14%. That's not a big, bold move. That's not a breakout level occurrence, okay? That's just a good pump. It didn't go to the top of this range. We're looking for a violent and we're looking for a breakout move, okay? That's not a breakout move, okay? This over here, nice little breakout move. By the way, you know what happened over here? Little altcoin season. You know what happened over here? Little altcoins. And now we're looking at this. And by the way, it didn't happen in July. Altcoin season didn't come until right now. We are not in a massive breakout altcoin season. But we could be because we're primed in that position right now. What does it take? it takes. That move right there, taking us up to the top of this range, $145,000 Bitcoin, $150,000 Bitcoin, somewhere in that range. That is where we kick off altcoin season, okay? Just for full disclosure, because then it causes this breakdown in dominance all the way to the bottom, and that is a gigantic range. Now, to also illustrate here, while we were breaking down to the bottom of this range, was not altcoin season. Was not altcoin season. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're not in that spot. So I think this is a fake out. I think we're going to get so much higher, and I think it's about to absolutely send. No indicators other than this altcoin season have been hit so far. So let's break down a little bit more. David has been working, trying to get these guys, Redline and Rednix, to do this USTD protocol, and he's been kind of doing the math on it, kind of looking at it. My prediction that made this, and he's talking about the community pool. So it calculated again, and he's using ChatGPT or Grok, one or the other, to work through the math on this and try to figure out with the data what's going on the charts. He fed in, it calculated everything again after uploading to it also 7-day and 30-day charts, and it seemed to be right that in the last 30 days, community pool growth day by day is lower, 3.4 million a day, not 9.1 million a day. So it's growing a lot lower than what we're looking for, but it's still growing. So I'm not sure what the issue, in so much as there an issue, would be, but it's growing. Now, means utilities starting to see some green in the market in the 7-day. That is a great sign. It's a great sign that something is happening. Something is working here. And you know, maybe we're going to see a nice little lift off. In fact, look at this over the last 2 hours. You've got a little bit of a move by Terra Luna Classic over here, 357 million market cap, which is about where we are. So I don't think it's a huge uptrend, but it started. What started? The vote. The vote is here. The Signal proposal, decentralized and fully automated yield-bearing stablecoin on Terra Luna Classic. Now, what did you get so far? Juris Protocol voted yes. Binodes voted yes. Trump Node voted yes. Revinci voted yes. Who voted no? Zero fees. Moonrunners and Alchemist have voted no. Did you validate with those people? Now, again, my vote is yes, but this is going to be up to everybody, and it's going to be up to the validators that you validated with. If you want this to happen, and this is one of your validators, shame on you. If you didn't want this to happen, and this is what's going on, and you gave it to Juris or Trump or Revinci, then shame on you. You're not getting what you want. You should be getting what you want here. Now, let's talk about no with veto. Alpine Digital, no with veto, and AutoStake has abstained from it. AutoStake now voting. Let's go back over here. All Nodes has now taken back the lead because all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they got that move. Now, I don't know what that means. I don't think it means anything specific, but we're going to have to see how All Nodes votes. Are they going to abstain? Are they going to vote no? Are they going to vote yeah? I have no idea, but you gave them the power to do whatever it is that they're going to do. Don't forget that. And then going down the list here, everybody's going to have a vote. Everybody's going to have a choice. My vote is yes. We need something drastic and dramatic to happen in this blockchain to attract new investors, to create a new environment, a new paradigm shift. If you're saying, well, I don't want to do that because USTC, that's dumb. Okay, USTC is not repegged. It's not going to be repegged. There's no path forward for something that has over $5 billion worth of debt. That's ridiculous for you to think that that's going to happen. What you should be looking at is there an arbitrage opportunity for you to make money off of USTC at this point until something maybe way down the road happens when you burn tons and tons and tons of USTC. So if you're not looking at it through a clear lens, that's on you, boo-boo. But the idea here is the arbitrage opportunity between Lunc and USTC is incredibly and increasingly volatile. The reason that you would want a stable coin is to hedge yourself against some of that volatility. And that by that, I mean, if you go from Luna Classic over to USTC and then USTC dumps, you've lost some value. Conversely, if you're on USTC and then you go to Lunc and then Lunc dumps, you've lost some value. But if you go from Lunc to a stable coin and then you wait for the dip on USTC and you buy the bottom of USTC, and then it pumps, and then you take it back out and you put it back into USDT, earning yield, by the way, while you're doing that. And then you wait for the dip on Luna Classic, and then you play Luna Classic, or you play both of them the same way, but you're using a stable coin in between to try to hedge against this volatility. Then guess what? That's how you're going to win. Only a few people ever win the pumps. Remember that. Only a few people ever win the pumps. The people that hold long term, yes, they're going to win most of the time. But ultimately, depending on how long you hold, almost everything is going to go to zero. So the fact that we're here right now, where we're in this position, we need a stable coin. The end of story. I don't know how much we can say, but it should be obvious at this point. We have to have a stable coin. Nobody cares otherwise, okay? Nobody cares. The reason Terra and Luna were successful, the reason it hit $119 was because it was a stable coin. It's because Terra was a stable coin and you were earning yield off of it, and you were able to lend, you were able to borrow. Rich people came in and started putting rich people money into a project that turned people rich. If it's not making sense to you, you're not thinking clearly. So we'll see how you vote. We'll see how they vote. We'll see what happens here. And I'm here to tell you, okay, in my opinion, if this does not pass, we are cooked for this bull run. And if you don't believe me, vote no and find out. But if you think that, then you tell me what the motivator is, okay? The people that vote no, the people that suppress you, the people that keep you down, the people who are voting against progress on this blockchain, those people, show me where it's working on the chart. Just show me where it's working, okay? I want to point this out. 3 years ago, three years ago, we consolidated around 4 zeros, 55, okay? Very few people bought at that point, okay? Very few people bought at that point, and most people have sold by that point. Then we consolidated in a range up here at 3 zeros, 12, okay? We're at 3 zeros, we're at 4 zeros, 6 today, which means in 3 years, their stupid ideas have done nothing. And remember who those people, the Happy Caddy Cryptos, the Jesus is Lords, those people, 3 years, they've taken your money and they've cashed out your money every single month to pay themselves as validators. Cashed out all the time. Do all of them cash out? No, of course they, but cashed out, paid bills, got it, and boom, that money's gone to pay for validating and for them to liquidate you. So you tell me where it's working. And by the way, I'm naming Happy Caddy Crypto not because I don't look. Despite the fact that he did some wild shit to me, I don't, yeah, it annoys me, but I'm really just talking about the votes here, okay? And I have disagreed with a lot of his voting. Jesus is Lord, don't know him, hasn't disrespected me in any way. I just don't like the way that he votes against the better interest of your bag. Now, does he vote against the better interest of the chain? Does Happy vote against the better interest of the chain? I'm not sure. They want full sovereignty. They want full decentralization. They want no leadership. And that's an admirable quality. So we should at least recognize that it's an admirable quality. But I don't give a shit about that. I care about pumping your bag. I care about creating value. This should be a value-added proposition for you. And they don't create value right here. They don't create. And if they do create value, show me where. Just show me where. Don't tell me that they do. Show me where they do. It's simple. You just have to show me. So, and by the way, everybody has to work, and we don't have to always agree, but everybody kind of has to work together for this thing to pop and to play out, for us to get where we want to get. So let's talk chart real quick. We did have a breakout, by the way. I mean, look right here. We've had a breakout above our little trend line here. This trend line's been playing out for a long time. We had a breakout. Now, are we breaking down below? That is the question right now. We've had a rejection at the top here. We broke back down. If that plays out unlike this one right here, if that plays out the right way, then this surge is about to come. We saw this last little surge right there, caused a little consolidation in that range, but we got some big red candles for a few days as profit takers fought, and then boom, we had that breakout, moved up to the 7 range. Now look, if you're at 55, if you bought at 4 zeros 55 and you're at 407, at least you got a 15-20% gain off of it. Cool. But without that, No progress. Nobody's done anything. Not all nodes. Nobody. Okay. And by the way, I just want you to think about it, okay? I don't want you to get mad at me, because there's nothing to get mad at me for except being factual. Where's the money? Where's the whatever they promise with sovereignty? Where is it? Show me. So potentially a breakout here. USTD, this vote here, if this starts to go right, and we start to see some yeses, probably see this move right here, right? I don't know exactly where we'll wick, but somewhere in that 64, 65 range, maybe right there, just kind of a move right there. Then if it passes, wham. I don't know if it goes beyond that right now, but I think that those two areas, those two regions, this blue one and this green one, these are my go zones. These are where we're going to consolidate, I think, based on volume. So in the event that this happens, you're going to see that happen. And guess what? One proposal would have done more than these guys have done for you in 3 years. And look, you don't have to like it, but if you don't like it, just go to the website and read up on Terra Luna Classic. Oh, my bad. We don't have a website because they keep voting them down. My bad. Are you listening? Are you hearing? Are you hearing what I'm saying? All right. So volume up 13% right now. 16 million, by the way. Volume continuing to tick upwards a little bit. Now, it's not huge, but it is an uptick. We'll see whether it sticks. Also up 14% over here. I'm sorry, that was 114% over here to 14.8 million. People are starting to pay a little bit of attention. Now, we'll see whether that maintains for right now. Burns, very little burns. Yesterday was just a horrible burn day, only 11 million. So we're at 182 million. All right, so I am through preaching to you. It is time to vote. If this fails, it's not the end of Terra Luna Classic. Terra Luna Classic will survive. It's not, this is not it's not the death knell, if you will. But we're not going forward. My 40x that I gave you as a prediction was reliant on something big creating a motivational pump out of it. So if we don't get that, market module, by the way, is part of that. But if we don't get something, then I'm gonna revise it probably down to about 305 or 306, somewhere in the neighborhood of where that previous top was, and that's gonna be at this point possibly a 10x. Okay, I want you guys to understand the importance of what's happening right now, and USTD to me is a gift to this ecosystem. Now that does. It has to work right. We have to see it, have to put the testing in, do whatever to make sure that it works properly. But the paradigm shift in all of crypto right now is stablecoin. And if we don't have a stablecoin from which people can easily cash out, move in and out, to enter and exit position, if we don't have a stablecoin that people can rely on to produce yield and stuff like that, then we have nothing. And USTC, that ain't it. Again, $5 billion. For anybody who doesn't understand the debt, by the way, the circulating supply right now is 5.59 billion US. Okay, the debt is everybody who lost money right there is entitled to their dollar back. That's the idea and the premise behind a stable coin. So we now owe people 5.59 billion USTC. The only way to reduce that debt is to reduce the supply such that the market cap is reflective of the circulating supply. So what that means is if we burned 5 billion tokens today, we would still have $590 million of debt and only a 74 million market. That's how bad this is. Now, of course, it would be worth 10 cents at that point or something like 15, 20 cents at that point. I don't know what the exact number is, but 12x. So it'd be about 8 cents, something like that. So we need to burn a huge amount of supply for USTC to have any sort of revitalization. Again, people are entitled, if it's a stable coin, they're entitled to their dollar back. So, and people are holding it for that purpose. So we need to burn as much as possible to get close to that. And the only way that's going to happen is with USTD, market module, with all the burn protocols that are out here, finally starting to burn some USTC and getting serious about it. But we can't do that without, let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. And it's gut check time.